Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a mental rut? Like your thoughts are just swirling around in a never-ending loop, leaving you feeling stagnant and uninspired? Well, if you have, you're not alone. And according to the renowned psychologist Carl Gustav Jung, this mental stagnation might have a lot to do with the way we think, or rather, the way we don't think. Jung, a pioneer in the field of analytical psychology, believed that the key to breaking free from mental stagnation lies in understanding the difference between two types of thinking, directed thinking and fantasy thinking. But what exactly are these, and how do they impact our mental state? Directed thinking, as Jung describes, is the kind of thinking we engage in when we're focused, logical, and purpose-driven. It's the kind of thinking that allows scientists to make groundbreaking discoveries and inventors to create world-changing innovations. It's the thinking that requires effort, discipline, and a clear goal. But here's the kicker, it's also exhausting. It demands a lot from us, both mentally and physically, which is why we can't sustain it indefinitely. On the flip side, we have fantasy thinking, which is effortless, spontaneous, and often unconscious. This is the kind of thinking that happens when our minds wander, when we're daydreaming, or when we're lost in a reverie. It's the kind of thinking that doesn't require us to follow a logical path or reach a specific conclusion. Instead, it allows our minds to float freely, exploring memories, fantasies, and emotions. Now you might be wondering, if fantasy thinking is so effortless and freeing, why would it contribute to feeling stuck? Well, according to Jung, while fantasy thinking is a natural and necessary part of our mental life, it can also lead us away from reality. It can cause us to dwell on the past or fantasize about the future, rather than engaging with the present. And when we spend too much time in this state, we risk becoming disconnected from reality, which can lead to feelings of stagnation and dissatisfaction. But here's where it gets really interesting. Jung believed that our tendency to slip into fantasy thinking is not just a personal quirk, it's deeply rooted in our psyche. He argued that this type of thinking is connected to the archaic basis of the mind, a concept that suggests our minds are influenced by primitive, instinctual thought forms that have been passed down through generations. These thought forms, or archetypes, are universal symbols and motifs that shape our perceptions and experiences. So when we find ourselves stuck in a mental rut, it might be because we're unconsciously tapping into these archaic patterns of thinking. We're drawn into a world of fantasies and memories, which, while comforting, can also be limiting. It's like being caught in a web of our own making, where the more we struggle, the more entangled we become. But fear not, because Jung also offers a way out. He suggests that the key to breaking free lies in achieving a balance between directed thinking and fantasy thinking. We need to harness the power of directed thinking to engage with reality and pursue our goals, while also allowing ourselves the freedom to explore our inner world through fantasy thinking. It's about finding harmony between the conscious and the unconscious, the rational and the irrational. One of the most compelling aspects of Jung's theory is the idea that our unconscious mind is not just a repository of repressed thoughts and desires, but a wellspring of creativity and insight. When we learn to navigate the depths of our unconscious mind, we can tap into a source of inspiration that can transform our lives. It's like diving into the ocean of our psyche and emerging with treasures that can enrich our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. But how do we achieve this balance? Jung suggests that introspection and self-awareness are crucial. By taking the time to reflect on our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, we can begin to understand the unconscious motives that drive us. This process of self-exploration can be challenging, as it requires us to confront aspects of ourselves that we might prefer to ignore. But it's also incredibly rewarding, as it allows us to integrate these hidden parts of ourselves into a more cohesive and authentic whole. Jung also emphasizes the importance of embracing change and transformation. He warns against becoming too rigid in our beliefs and routines, as this can lead to stagnation and a loss of vitality. Instead, we should be open to new experiences and willing to let go of outdated ideas and habits. This willingness to change is what allows us to grow and evolve, both as individuals and as a society. In one of his most striking metaphors, Jung compares this process of transformation to the myth of the phoenix, a mythical bird that is consumed by flames only to rise again from its ashes. Just as the phoenix undergoes a cycle of death and rebirth, so too must we be willing to let go of the old in order to make way for the new. It's a powerful reminder that even when we feel stuck, we have the potential to rise above our circumstances and create a new reality for ourselves. So if you find yourself feeling stuck in a mental rut, take heart. Remember that this is not a permanent state, but a signal that it's time to explore new ways of thinking and being. By embracing both directed thinking and fantasy thinking, you can unlock the full potential of your mind and embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. As Jung himself once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." Perhaps it's time to awaken to the possibilities that lie within. As you embark on this journey of self-discovery, it's essential to recognize that the path is not always linear. Jung's teachings remind us that the psyche is a complex and multifaceted entity, much like a labyrinth with winding corridors and hidden chambers. It requires patience and perseverance to navigate, and often, the guidance of a trusted mentor or therapist can illuminate the way forward. One of the techniques Jung advocated for delving into the unconscious is active imagination, a method that involves engaging with the images and symbols that arise spontaneously from the unconscious mind. This practice requires setting aside time to enter a meditative state, allowing the mind to drift into the realms of fantasy thinking, and then consciously interacting with the visions and narratives that emerge. By doing so, we can converse with the archetypal figures that reside within us, gaining insight into their messages and integrating their wisdom into our conscious awareness. For example, you might find yourself envisioning a wise old man or woman, a classic Jungian archetype symbolizing guidance and inner wisdom. By engaging in a dialogue with this figure, you can uncover insights that might have been obscured by the noise of everyday life. These dialogues can be recorded in a journal, serving as a bridge between the unconscious and conscious realms, and offering a tangible record of your inner journey. Moreover, Jung emphasized the role of creativity as a conduit for transformation. Engaging in creative activities, whether it be painting, writing, music, or dance, can facilitate a deeper connection with the unconscious. These creative outlets allow us to express emotions and ideas that may be difficult to articulate through rational thought alone. They provide a safe space for experimentation and play, where the boundaries of directed thinking can be temporarily suspended in favor of exploration and discovery. It's also important to remember that the process of individuation, as Jung termed it, is deeply personal and unique to each individual. What works for one person might not resonate with another. Thus, it's crucial to approach this journey with an open mind and a willingness to explore different avenues until you find the ones that resonate with your inner self. As you continue to explore the depths of your psyche, be mindful of the role that dreams play in this process. Jung believed that dreams are a direct channel to the unconscious, offering clues and insights that can aid in our quest for self-understanding. By keeping a dream journal and reflecting on recurring themes and symbols, you can begin to decode the language of your unconscious mind and incorporate its messages into your waking life. Lastly, it's vital to cultivate a sense of compassion and gentleness towards yourself as you navigate this inner landscape. The journey of self-discovery is fraught with challenges and revelations that can sometimes be uncomfortable or unsettling. However, by approaching it with curiosity and a non-judgmental attitude, you create a nurturing environment for growth and transformation. In embracing the teachings of Jung, we are reminded that the journey inward is a lifelong endeavor. It is a dance between light and shadow, consciousness and unconsciousness, where each step brings us closer to a fuller understanding of who we are. As we integrate the diverse aspects of our being, we move towards a state of wholeness, where the boundaries of directed thinking and fantasy thinking blur, and we become the architects of our own reality. So, take a deep breath, trust in the process, and embark on the adventure that awaits within. For in the words of Jung, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are.